Hey everyone, welcome back to our series, The Good, the Bad, and the Truth About Regenerative Medicine. I'm Dr. J. Bowen, and today we're going to be diving into a topic that affects the future of regenerative medicine, how the FDA fits into all this. You may have heard me mention things like the Right to Try Act in other videos in this series. If you wondered what this video is for you. I'll cover the FDA's role, some of the controversies, and how state laws and federal regulations collide in this space. If you've been enjoying this series, be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit that bell notification so you don't miss anything. Also, please give us this video a like, leave us comments below letting us know you're here, and any questions you have so I can address them. Okay, let's get ready to go and dive in deep. First things first, what exactly is the FDA? The United States Food and Drug Administration is the agency responsible for regulating everything from food and cosmetics to drugs and biologics. When it comes to regenerative medicine, particularly therapies like stem cells, PRP, and other cell-based treatments, the FDA plays a crucial role in ensuring safety and efficacy. In regenerative medicine, any therapy that involves manipulating cells or tissues, like stem cell treatments, potentially falls under the FDA scrutiny. They want to make sure that these treatments are safe for patients and that they work as intended. However, not all regenerative therapies are treated the same. The FDA categorizes regenerative treatments under two pathways, 361 and 351. This is where things can get a bit technical, but it's super important and I'll try to simplify it. A product classified as a 361 product is considered a minimally manipulated biologic. These treatments are derived from patients' own cells or tissues, and as long as they meet certain criteria, they don't require extensive FDA approval. An example would be PRP, or platelet-rich plasma, which is simply blood that's been processed to concentrate platelets. It's minimally manipulated and typically falls under this 361 pathway. If you want more information on what PRP is and how we use it at NJRI, check out our video on it. On the other hand, 351 products are considered more than minimally manipulated. These require more rigorous FDA oversight and go through clinical trials like new drugs. This includes some types of stem cell treatments where the cells are significantly modified or cultured before being reintroduced into a patient. They can even be cells from another person. Treatments in this category are considered high risk, which leads to tighter control. Now, let's get into the controversy, or the bad, the lawsuits and the legal challenges involving regenerative medicine clinics. Some clinics, like Regenex and Cell Surgical Network, have faced lawsuits for marketing therapies that haven't gone through the FDA approval process under the 351 pathway. These lawsuits highlight the ongoing tension between innovation and regulation in the field. What makes this even more complicated is the interaction between federal FDA regulations and the individual state laws. This leads us to two important pieces of legislation, the Right to Try Act and the 21st Century Cures Act. The Right to Try Act, signed into law in 2018, allows patients with life-threatening conditions to try experimental treatments that haven't yet received full FDA approval. This doesn't include just the cellular treatments we've been discussing. This law gives patients more access to therapies that would otherwise be restricted, but it also opens the door to potential risks, especially in unproven treatments. Meanwhile, the 21st Century Cures Act was designed to accelerate the development of new therapies, including regenerative medicine. While it streamlines some of the approval processes, it also sets the stage for faster but still more rigorous pathways for FDA approval. You might be wondering, what is PRP? As I mentioned earlier, platelet-rich plasma typically falls under the FDA's 361 pathway, because it's minimally manipulated blood product. Unlike more complex biologics, PRP is derived from your own blood and is processed without significant modification. If you want to learn more about PRP, you can watch my recent video on it. And if you're struggling with knee pain, check out my knee series and see how PRP can address it. If you're ready for a PRP consultation, give our office a call so we can get you the relief you're looking for. But here's where it gets a little tricky. While PRP is often used for joint pain, tendon injuries, and even cosmetic purposes, its regulation is far looser than some of the other regenerative therapies, especially since it's not classified as a drug under the FDA's HCTP, which stands for the Human Cells tissues, and cellular and tissue-based products regulations. And that's a mouthful. All this complexity with the FDA regulations, lawsuits, and the state and federal laws brings us to what I like to call the Goldilocks principle. We need balance. Too much regulation can stifle the innovation and delay the access to life-saving treatments. Too little, and we risk patients being exposed to therapies that can be dangerous or ineffective. The goal should be finding that just right point, where we're protecting patients while also encouraging the innovation. But in regenerative medicine, this balance is still a work in progress, and that is why we need the data to guide us. So what's the truth about the FDA's role in regenerative medicine? Well, it's complicated. The FDA exists to protect patients, and current regulations are strict pathways for traditional things such as pharmaceuticals, which doesn't really lend itself to looking at innovative treatments such as regenerative treatments or orthobiologics. On the other hand, we've seen clinics where they take advantage of these lax oversights, and that's why a balanced approach is crucial. As an example, there are chiropractors that have directed or even employ nurse practitioners or others to perform a procedure with a substance that doesn't contain stem cells or maybe even cells at all, and mislead the patient as to what is being injected, either knowingly or out of ignorance. This is the importance of getting a clear diagnosis and trying simple and inexpensive treatments first. If they fail and the problem has been correctly identified by someone who treats your condition often, then progression to other treatments is reasonable. Here at NJRI, I will give you a clear evaluation and discuss the options for the most conservative treatment, which in some cases just might be simple meat protocol and physical therapy, all the way to extremes like PRP, MFAT, and in the worst cases, potentially even surgical referral. With all of medicine, there are good and bad people with various intentions and training. As always, be an informed patient. Do your homework on the treatments, check if they're FDA approved, if it's even applicable, get the details on the proposed treatment, see if they collect data on these novel treatments they render, and talk to your healthcare provider about all your treatment options. Well, that's it for today's episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Truth of Regenerative Medicine. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for more deep dives into the world of regenerative medicine. We really appreciate it, and it doesn't cost you anything. Also, be sure to follow us on our socials. We're active on TikTok, X, Instagram, and Facebook. Stay tuned for our next two-part exciting discussion with the CEO of Data Biologics regarding regenerative medicine and the field. See you next time. Can't wait. And I hope you learned something. Have a good day.